I want to jump into some of this awesome AI stuff. If you guys don't know, she's the pro AI user over here in digital space, and she's learned to work smarter, not harder, and that's what she teaches a lot of women, a lot of men, a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs. Right? I've seen her on stage speak a lot about it, do demos. I don't know how much I've talked about it. I've got to certify in some different AI programs. I'm kind of obsessed with it. Sometimes when my husband isn't efficient enough, I'm like, you could just throw that into AI and it will do the, and he'll be like, I'm like, get on board, babe, get on board.
Yeah.
So in the household, when it comes to tasks, when even, business, what are some of those like simple things? Let's say they haven't really tapped into it. What's a practical way that moms can, be comfortable? Because I know they're like, oh my gosh, it's so much, it's so overwhelming. And it was even talked about like in church one Sunday, but in Sunday school, like how much do we lean in? How much do we, people are writing their sermons and their talks and whatever, and they're using AI. Like how much do we think like, whoa, that's not enough. Some just needs to come from your own inspiration, this and that. And I was able to raise my hand and talk about like how I was like, okay, well, let's say you want to take time out for more Bible study or more scripture or more time to your family and you don't know how to juggle it all or schedule it all. I was like, you could throw these things into the schedule and say like, hey, can you spit out like 15 minutes a day throughout the, 5 days of the weekdays that we could fit in some like family time, maybe a little scripture study. And I was like, and it could do that for you. Yeah. I'm like, you can serve your neighbors. Like they had this whole lesson on just like being prepared and stocking up and with all the fires and all the things that happen out here. I feel like in LA it's like always something, so it's like let's just make sure we're prepared so then we can also help our neighbors. And I was like, how cool would it be to go to the old lady's house next door and get stock of what she has using AI, take a bunch of pictures, it'll count it all out for her, and then be able to spit out what she needs to be prepared for 2 weeks on her own if, world shuts down or fires break out or she doesn't have access to this and this. And I was able to show some of these older ladies. I was like, and in 10 minutes, here we go. We have a plan of action or we have a schedule kind of nailed down that, works with everyone in your family. And they all kind of went, oh, huh, well, right? Because they're kind of anti a little bit. And I'm like, there are ways that it can bless our lives. And it's happening anyway. So you kind of have to like, let's get on board and let's get educated behind it. But share practical ways that we can use.
Yeah, I think for sure the most practical way to implement AI is to think of it as just simply outsourcing your overwhelm.
Mm-hmm.
Outsource.
You want to think about this?
Yeah. If it's an overwhelming thought, spit it into AI and see what it does just to help you out. But obviously in business, I use it a lot. Drafting emails, drafting copy, creating campaigns, like all of those things, looking and analyzing trends and, uploading documents. I'll upload a bunch of surveys from the conference. We took over 100 surveys. So I took all of those documents that we had scanned into the system, uploaded all of them and said, what were the trends here? What were the high points? What were the low points? Instead of having to manually read them and try to figure out what were the common threads, it helped summarize it all for me. It was really, really great. So in business, yes, but even in personal life, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, okay, I need to figure out dinner, but I don't have a lot. Okay, ChatGPT, I have this ingredient, this ingredient, this ingredient, this ingredient. Help me create a recipe for dinner that I can crank out in 20 minutes. Comes up with a recipe. Oh, I don't have that seasoning. Do you have any substitutes? Oh, here's a number of substitutes that you can use for that to make. And I can't tell you how many bomb dinners that ChatGPT has created for me with food that I already had, just didn't know how to put together, And so that was a game changer when I was getting my son into purees and starting to make his own food. Like, what should I make him? How can I make sure he's getting a balanced diet? What's the process? How should I introduce the allergens?
Yeah.
And because they talk about it, you hear about it, but there's not I like to have a process. I like to have like a printout, like do this, 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 and this. Yeah. And it created that for me, So, there's so many ways. The groceries for sure. When I was doing postpartum and I needed ideas for how to start to work my core with my C-section, and I had a whole workout plan that was created with ChatGPT's help. It doesn't necessarily replace the value of somebody that's really with you and helping you. But anytime I get like a crazy symptom, ChatGPT, what does this mean? And I like it a lot better than Google because it's a way more realistic than the like doom and gloom results that you'll get from a
No,
Google
it's true.
search.
It's like, how many times did that person like Google this and now like you're dying? Oh,
Yeah.
so now you're dying. Oh, you went from sniffles. Like everyone has that friend who's a little
Yeah. On the
like, I think I have cancer. And you're like, oh, did you go down the Google rep? Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah. I find that AI is much more moderate with the way that it will give me that feedback,
Yeah.
or even ideas. Like if my son has a cold and the pediatrician has said, no, you can't give him anything, but you can do X, Y, and Z. I'll go to AI and just see, are there any other remedies or any other things? And I get so many ideas from it. And so it's just really, it's like having a full-time assistant that can help you outsource any of your overwhelm. Think of things that you hadn't thought of before. I was hosting a holiday party at my house this past weekend, and I was trying to prep for the party, and I was starting to feel a little overwhelmed with the food prep and the decor. And so I literally said, this is what I have on my menu so far. Is there anything I'm missing that you think would round it out? It was like, that was a really great start. Here's some other ideas that could round it out. And so I ended up doing one of them. I made some bacon wrapped dates per ChatGPT's recommendation. It helped me prepare and how to like what to prep on Thursday for Friday and then Saturday. It made my grocery list for me. It separated it by store and by run. And it was truly like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I don't even need to write out a grocery list. It has everything here for me. And it told me, okay, Thursday, we're going to do our grocery shopping and we're going to do some shopping and we're going to organize Friday. We're going to prep this and that. And then it was the easiest, breeziest hosting I have ever done. Like, I don't know about you, but if you're hosting a gathering, it can oftentimes bring out like the like hostzilla in you, and you're like yelling at your husband, just stop it, just do this, just get it. Like you just get
100%.
so worked up. I do anyway. That's me.
Oh yeah. No, I love a good party. I love my husband likes to call it over hosting or over decorating or over preparing, even though I tend to procrastinate. But yes, the full spread and all the things. Like it's so fun.
It's
And
so
then you
fun.
get in the middle of it and you're like, why do I think this is so fun? Like you just mop the floors. Why? People are coming over, they're gonna trample over it. Just mop the floors.
Yeah, exactly. Just but I love it. I love it. I love but it was the least stressful it has ever been. And it's really truly because I outsourced some assistance from AI to help me just break it down. And it became so much more manageable to pull it off. And it was
And it's
a lot of
free.
fun.
You
Yeah.
guys, it's free. It's free help. Anything to take away the overwhelm, anything to take away the overwhelm. And you just get started by asking it to do stuff for you.
Exactly.
And it does. Just sometimes you have to kind of, fact check if you're really delving into like trying to diagnose yourself and things like that, right? Like let's see where they're drawing the information and where they're drawing the studies from, and ask where are you drawing these studies from, and it will tell you.
I have a hilarious story about an AI gone wrong. So I was using it to help me write a blog for our website. We do a weekly blog post, and I wanted to write about the most inspiring books that every woman entrepreneur should read. And I had like 3 of them in mind that came top of mind immediately, but I wanted to make like a list of 10.
Yeah.
And so I went to AI to help me come up with some ideas for some additional books. And it gave me all these ideas for books that I had never heard of before, which I was surprised because I know of a lot of books, but I just wanted like, what would they think is the top 10 to really round out this list? So I was like, wow, I've never heard of these, but this, like, it had the title of the book, the author, and then a description about the book. I was like, this sounds like a really good book. I can't believe I haven't heard of it.
Like it's right up my alley.
Right up my alley. I'm going to go and look it up before I just post it in my blog. And I go to look it up, and Carly, I can't find it anywhere. I can't even find the author. I'm looking for this book, and come to find out, it just made it up. Like it just made up motivational
like, this is the book you should write.
Literally, I was like, wow, you just really like totally made up 7 books out of nothing. So you definitely need to fact check it.
Don't trust everything you read, right?
Yes,
it is still the internet. I'm in the process of building a mom bot on my website because for this reason, right? We're inundated with all this information, and sometimes we Google and Google and Google. People are stopping. They're saying that now I chat GPT it, right?
Yeah.
I'm building a space where people can come, mothers can come and research something or ask a question, and it's only going to be answered with information that I have put in there. You know what I mean? Information that is vetted, that is researched, that
That's
is
good.
also vetted by our wonderful group of experts. I think it's important to now, because it is, I mean, the amount of AI apps, they're in the hundreds, right? To also have a space, but still the MomBot is using AI, right? In a space where you can go and know that anything that it spits out, hopefully if all goes well, will
Yeah.
be from information that I've downloaded and let's be honest, not me.
You've trained
My
it.
web guy has downloaded and
Yeah.
put in there as a resource for all our mamas out there. Because sometimes it's nice to be able to go to a space you're like, okay, I can rely on this information.
Trust this
Still trust
information.
your gut, still listen,
Of
you know.
course.
But sometimes we just need that extra little, information. It asks like, how are you doing today? Do you just want to vent?
Yeah. You're like,
Or do you need
yes,
specific
actually.
information? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I will definitely be hitting up that mom bot. Like, hey, mama, I need a
So
vent.
out. My teenager just yelled at me and again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I wanted to finish up just on a couple more things. You created this 15-minute CEO method. Is that through AI? Is it just tell me more about that and how moms can apply maybe this similar principle?
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, as a working mom, specifically for any working mom or business owner who's also a mom, uh, optimizing your minutes is what matters. And so that's where AI, I think, really has presented the best opportunity for us to really allow us to streamline and automate so many of the things that we used to spend a lot of time doing to give us more time back with our family. And so I created
Yeah.
a download called the 15-minute CEO, and it has just five simple AI workflows that I use to help me automate so much of what used to take me hours that I can now get done in 15 minutes. So, there's so many AI tools out there. Chat GPT is one of them, but there's a ton others. And so
Yeah.
this features 5 tools and 5 workflows that I've implemented to really cut down so much time and so much effort. It's really awesome. So definitely check it out.
Mhm.
Um, I will put the link below. It's a pretty simple link, but it's a game changer for sure. So definitely check it out if you're trying to save yourself a couple of minutes, even if you just implement one workflow that could save you an hour. How many of you would love an hour back? It's like
Yes, please. Yeah.
that's what it's about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the more proficient we get within that world, right? Within
Yeah.
AI, even if it's just with a couple apps, it's
Yeah.
cool because then you could you free up time and then you get to share that info with others. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what we're all about here is like, oh, I learned this thing. You should know about this thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I met
Exactly.
this person. You need to know about this person, right? I think
Exactly.
the more we get on board and all help each other, right? All of us will be saving more time. This is like, yeah, right. The heavens are opening. We all love more time to do the
Yeah.
things that we want to do, even if that's like nothing.
Yeah.
When my kid says I'm bored, I'm like, oh my gosh, what would I give to just be bored?
I know. I wish.
Are you
There's
so
only
bored? Okay, good. You just stay there being bored.
Yeah.
Think
Okay.
of these cars.
Yeah.
So talking about like kids, boredom, technology, I've realized this especially with my third, and I've read the book The Anxious Generation, which will actually make you more anxious reading it.
Yeah.
But it talks a lot about the anxious generation, the generation that grew up with these kind of all access to technology, right? Think of
Yeah.
like probably more your generation, 04, 05. I grew up in the generation where it's like we had nothing like that to now we have everything, right? So I was an 80s baby, which blows my mind. And my daughter was asking me about it the other day, and she was like, she's kind of blowing my mind a little bit because she's like very, very self-aware. And she was like, Mom, I think you might need to take away my phone because it's become very distracting and I'm not getting
Wow.
things done that I need to. And we have a lot of conversations about it. Like she doesn't have social media. She tried to get it, and then I caught her, and then she deleted it on her own, knowing that that wasn't healthy for her.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
a lot of therapy, a lot of communication, a lot of things, but it's like all these things in a 15-year-old body and mind are starting to seep in. And we had this pretty long conversation of and she was like, I just feel like if I grew up without all this, I would be better off. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wow.
You
Well
know, she's like,
done.
how did you grow up? Because you didn't have any of this. And I was like, no, I probably, and we kind of got into it. I was like, I don't know if I would be here anymore, to be honest,
Wow.
because I was bullied in high school, I ended up leaving school. And if that had taken to the next level of like blasting things on socials or on cell phones
Cyberbullying.
or whatever, yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, girlfriend, I got like hate notes in my locker, like handwritten, you know?
Wow. Yeah, right.
I was like, so it was different. I was like, I don't know if I would have, survived that
Mm.
at that time. I was like, so I'm blessed that that wasn't a part of my life. Cell phones didn't, they weren't a thing.
Yeah.
Really not until I got to college. But what would
Wow.
you say to this next generation? I would say my youngest is probably more addicted because I don't know, she's been around it more because of her older siblings, you know what I mean? A little bit more
Right.
access to it. But the more research being poured into it, reading this book has really got me being like, and now no more YouTube. And now we got to think Roblox. And now we got to, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you're heading into it with like, we're just even the next level up. We'll be like, I don't know. When Tatiana's a teenager, she'll be like tapping her brain and like, you'll come on a holograph. So like,
Right.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it
Yeah.
past us to be there at some point. But
Feel real. No,
we're
it's
really
crazy.
shaped by this technology. What do you
It's
hope this sort of next generation learns? Because I'm kind of terrified. I don't want to be terrified. I want to be educated. I don't want to empower my kids to make smart decisions. But it's you're not around them all the time. And they're at friends' houses and they're, you know what I mean? And so I'm
yeah.
just trying to like build up their confidence in their minds to be able to speak out and know what is, healthy and good. Um,
I'm really impressed by your daughter because that is next. How old is she? The one that had the discernment of like,
she'll be 15 in 2 weeks.
that's incredible. Like, hats off to you because you're clearly doing something right. And I need to take some notes because that to me is impressive. I mean, I've never heard of a 15-year-old with that level of self-awareness, that when something's not good for you, because it's designed to be addictive.
Yeah,
So,
it is 100%.
um, to recognize that even in the thick of that addiction,
Yeah. Yeah,
is
it's true.
powerful, really,
Mhm.
really amazing. And I would love the code to do that for my daughter. She's only 5 right now, and
I mean,
she's
but
got
I think it starts then too, right? Having that
yeah,
relationship with her. So, or your kids in general, that they can say those things
yeah,
to you. You
yeah.
know, I mean, that my daughter legit will like look around and be like, everyone's on their phone. Like, can we just not? She's already a little fed up with it, because she doesn't have access to all the things that they have access to that they're looking at on their phone. And maybe she not
Yeah.
may not get all the jokes, the things that are trending on TikTok. So she feels a little left out sometime. But I
Mhm.
think the more we educate our kids around what it's doing to them and their brains, I mean, they've put out studies now that it's legit like being on crack.
Yeah.
Like
No,
brain studies, crack cocaine
yeah,
addiction to
technology.
addiction to technology. They're the same. And I was like, well, I probably wouldn't want my kid to be addicted to crack cocaine. So if I think about it in that context of what it's doing
Right.
to their brains, um, and I'm trying not to be like a major hard ass either, because I don't want them like hiding and trying to get away with it. You know what I mean? So it's finding that fine line. But it's yeah, it is tricky. But if you see yourself in your little child and you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
as the mini me, I'm in so much trouble because we have a hard
No.
time parenting like what we like ourselves. And there was a lot of roadblocks I had to get through, a lot of my own therapy I had to get through and able to um embrace her and help her. And now that I'm seeing a lot of these similarities, I'm able to be like, I don't want you to go through the hell I went through. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. No,
And I
touch on
share with
it.
her openly. Yeah.
She's already at 5. She loves taking photos. She loves like posing for pictures. Let me see it. She like that was
Mhm.
that era of like, let me see the
Delete that.
picture.
Delete that. Or my
Yeah.
9-year-old's like that. Oh, let me. Let's do that again. I'm like,
We haven't gotten there yet, but she'll definitely ask to do more. She hasn't gotten to the
right.
I don't like that phase. She likes everything. So that's really good. I love that she loves herself.
Right.
You know, we aren't doing we have lots of friends that do tablets for the kids. We have our own iPad. And so we'll let her there's like a program that her school has that she can log into at school and do like little educational games. There's a home version of it. So
Yeah.
she can log in and play little games. But we do no screens on Tuesdays and Thursdays. She can watch TV on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday after school, but no TV after school on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I think is what we're doing right now. Just because we want her to still be creative. We want her to draw.
Mhm.
We want her to use her imagination. We don't want her to just sit in front of a screen, whether it's a tablet or a TV or a phone. It doesn't matter. Like, we're not doing that. We're going to
And
create
that's a
some
lot what this
boundaries.
book is about. This book says a lot about you. We've removed the sort of creative play
Yeah.
and we've introduced play online
Yeah.
and how you can just quit or leave a situation or leave a conversation. And so kids don't have these like even communication skills to work out things
Yeah.
because they think they have a community online or they think they're working out online, but they can just like toss it to the side and be like, well, they're wrong, I'm right. And then we're losing a lot of those things that happen in our brain that only comes from playing and comes from figuring things out creatively, like with our hands and with our minds.
Yeah.
Putting down our phones as parents raising these babies, because
Yeah.
now they're seeing that parents are holding their babies and they're always on their phones.
Yeah.
And children and babies learn from getting in their face and being like, and seeing you move and be like, that's a tree. Can you say tree? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
we're doing less of that. And now they're finding these babies are like more delayed. And I'm like, we didn't know about.
I know. I know. Yeah, the technology is scary. I think that I've already come to the conclusion. I already know one thing. Once it does come a time, I'm going to delay the use of a phone for as long as possible. But when we do eventually get to that point, I know I will never allow her to have a phone in her room.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have our charging station downstairs in the common living area, and that's where phones will get charged overnight. I know that for a fact. But, the reality is, I do teach on the power of technology, and I love social media as an adult. And I didn't have it until I was a much older young adult.
Right.
Older teen, young adult, because it was like MySpace as a teenager and then it took off from there. So I kind of had a lot of growing up. I was really severely bullied in middle school as well, Carly. So I really resonated in it. And if social media was around then and I was on it, I don't know that I would have made it either, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like that is a really powerful like aha realization. And I think any parent who has lived through that can resonate. Like that's a challenge that I never had to deal with. And I can only imagine how devastating that would be to get into that whole cyberbullying world. So I want to delay that as long as I possibly can. But
Be the outlier. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I mean, that's what I'm trying to empower more moms to do is like, you're the parent. You get to be the parent. You can be a friendly parent, but you're not
yeah,
their friend that's telling them, yeah, you should use Instagram. It's great. Right. Like
yeah,
be the parent and delay it, yes, as long as possible so their brains can develop more. And like I now realize because I delayed it so long in Elsie, my oldest, like she's now a little bit more ready to be
yeah.
able to have it maybe, when she gets to be a sophomore or something, but it's 13-year-old brains.
They're
They're
not
not
ready.
ready.
They're not ready for that. No, I just really hope that they learn that technology is a tool and not an identity. Their identity doesn't belong online. It is there to just to purely be a tool, and no algorithm can ever replace discernment.
Yes.
An algorithm cannot replace empathy. It cannot replace courage. Like that is all within you, and that is your identity. And so I want that foundation to be strong first. and for technology to only be there to support them in helping them achieve whatever it is they need to achieve, whether it's school studies or,
Yeah.
building a brand. If she decides that she wants to do that, there's a lot of kids. I don't know. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be encouraging that. I want to keep her off of online as long as I possibly can. But if she really wants to do something, I don't ever want to clip her wings.
Sure.
She's definitely not expressed interest in that right now. Although she did get introduced to YouTube Kids, and she loves watching kids play with their toys on YouTube. And recently she was playing. She's like, "Mommy, film me doing this." And she doesn't ever ask for it to be posted. Thank God. But I can tell she's emulating what she's seeing and wanting to be filmed playing and things that's really cool. So, that's fun. And that's also her way of just kind of expressing herself. So I want to support her in that. But I think it is scary. And I don't have all of the answers because I'm not there yet. But I am very clear that technology is not a safe space for a child. Yeah. And the longer that we can delay introducing it, the better. And so that is my plan. We'll see. We'll loop back on another podcast in 10 years and we'll reassess,
Yeah. And it will get harder the more they ask. But again, I'm a strong believer that it all starts in the home, right? What we're building, what we're teaching, like you said, those skills, those empathy, courage, unity, that all starts in the home. And we need to lead by example and not be like, well, mommy's a grown up and I can be on my phone whenever I want. You know what I mean? Like, I really, really love that you have that boundary of like putting the phone down and being really present, because it can be such a distraction. I can get into a show and be like, oh, I just want to watch this next episode.
Yeah.
I need help with homework. Ask AI. I can't help you with your homework anymore. I don't even understand third grade math.
For real, I failed algebra, so she's in trouble when that comes. She's going to need her dad. That's dad's job.
Maybe a little tech help in that realm is okay, right? We've come a long way, which is really exciting. Girlfriend, thanks for coming. Being on our show.
Thanks for inviting me.
Chat for hours and hours. This morning, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know, maybe because I see you online once a week or whatever, I was like, oh, I have a question. I'm going to text her real quick. I was like, I'm not going to text her real quick.
You can text me anytime.
The vibe of I could text you for, questions.
For sure. I'm so glad we did this. Thank you. Awesome. I could talk to you forever. So this has been so fun.
We'll do it again. If it'll all be in the show notes. I would love for you guys to reach out to follow Briana, her 50-minute CEO method. That's going to be in the show notes. Click on that link. Take advantage of that. Jump into ChatGPT. See how it can help your life. See how it can help you lift some of this overwhelm. We're very we all need massages right now. We just need some of that weight lifted off, especially busy times of year, right? Where we just need all the help we can get. And you need to accept all the help you can get. I'm a strong believer in that. No matter how well you think you're doing, no matter, you feel like you've conquered the mountain, we can always use more support and help. So know that Briana's got you, mama. I got you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if this resonated with you and you feel like this episode would really resonate with some of your friends, anyone, please go ahead and share it. We would love it. We appreciate your support. Love your faces. Love you, Briana. Appreciate you. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Thanks for having me.